Hello, and welcome back to my channel. Right now we are in our powder room, kind of near the front door area. And if you remember this powder room from years ago, it used to be like a very dark, bold, intense teal bathroom, and we gave it a makeover. We've loved it, but for a while I've been kind of wanting to make it a little bit more functional in here and give it a little bit of a refresh. So that's what we're gonna focus on today. So we're not doing like a full makeover, we're not painting all this stuff, but we're just giving it a little refresh, if you will. The other night, I was literally laying in bed, falling asleep, and I had such a fun idea because there are different versions of refreshes, right? Like you can go through your space and you can declutter and you can do just like really simple things and it uplifts your space. It makes it feel nice and refreshed. You can also go more intense, like bring in new items, change things out, and that can do the same thing. But sometimes it's hard to know. Do you want to just go the really simple route? Is that enough? Or is it worth it to add some budget in there or add a little bit of extra time and focus? Which one is better? So I decided I'm going to start a new series on my channel that will kind of sprinkle in videos here and there called Free or Spree. And basically I'm going to take one space in our home and we are going to give it a refresh in two different ways. The first way is I'm going to clean, declutter, reorganize, restyle things, but I'm going to not be bringing anything else into the space. And that will be our free version. And then later on, I am going to be adding some things in. So I might add in some new organization pieces. I might add in some new decor. I might even pull something from outside of this room, like in the rest of our home. I could go thrifting, whatever. And that is going to be our spree. So it doesn't necessarily mean like, oh, we're really going on a shopping spree. We're gonna go spend hundreds of dollars on this or anything like that. But it just means it will cost probably something. And then at the end, I'm going to share what I spent on the spree version. And if I feel like that truly elevated the space enough to kind of justify that, or if I feel like we would have been just as good doing the free version. I can totally see different spaces being totally worth it to do the spree. I can also see different spaces being like, yeah, the spree was nice, but it really wasn't worth the money and I would have been just fine doing a free home refresh. So that is kind of the premise and the base of today's video. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, first things first, we are going to start by cleaning the space and then we'll get into the official free refresh. I also want to give a quick shout out to Green Leaf Household Essentials Cleaners. I got these from a small shop and honestly, I've loved them. They have the best scents. This one is a bathroom cleaner in the scent Lemon Zest, and this works so well. And then this stuff, oh my gosh, it smells so good. This is a sink and tub cleaner and it's in the scent Orange Zest. I also have her multi-surface spray in the scent Fresh Mint, I believe it's called, and it smells amazing. So if you need like a good natural cleaner, check her out. She lives in Florida. She's so kind and her products work and they smell so good. I will have a link and also a discount code. I'll put the code on the screen along with down in the description box. But good stuff. All right, as I am cleaning in here, I wanted to share something totally unrelated, but I was talking to Amanda and Megan from Bloom Towels, and we do have a few more towels from my collection available still. The Blushing Florals is completely sold out, but the Dusty Desert and the Vintage Botanicals ones are still available on the website. So those are going to be on sale for $12 for the next couple of days. I will have all the information and the link down below, so you can go ahead and check that out. These are very limited right now, and I believe they're pretty close to selling out, or we're just trying to make room for the fall collection that will be launching in, I believe, a few weeks. So stay tuned for that. And like I said, I'll have that link down below for you guys. All right, everything's nice and clean aside from the shelves, but I will wipe those down as I pull things off. But welcome to the free portion of our bathroom refresh. So as I am focusing on refreshing our bathroom for free, I'm going to be kind of focusing on 3 different areas. So 1, decluttering, 2, reorganizing, but not adding in organizational bins, just kind of reorganizing what I have, and then 3, restyling. So I do actually have a lot of things that I can pull from my house that would technically still be free, but just in case you don't have a lot of other things to pull from another room, I'm not going to do that just for the sake of this video. So I am only going to be pulling from things that are already in my space. I can kind of pull things down, restyle, but one thing that I do want to share is anytime that you are restyling your space without adding in new items, I think you can do such a better job of this if you actually pull everything down and start from scratch. So for example, I have these built-in shelves up here. Really, it was just a cove before. So Kyle and I added shelves so that it could be a little bit more functional. So instead of just like, maybe moving this piece over here and moving something down and whatever, I'm going to pull everything down and completely start from scratch. And also, I don't like to take pictures of what it was because I don't want to go back and refer to that. I just want it to feel like completely fresh and completely new. And I feel like you can often actually achieve that just by pulling everything down and just kind of starting with a clean slate, even if you're still reusing the same items. So that's what we're gonna do now, is go ahead and focus on just restyling some things, and then I'm gonna open up our vanity and we will declutter and organize in there. So when we did this bathroom a couple years ago, I really didn't add much function into the shelving area. I really just decorated it because since this doesn't have a bathroom, I didn't feel like this room needed a lot of function. But ever since then, I've kind of learned it would be nice to have a little bit of added function in this bathroom more than just brushing your teeth and using the bathroom. So when I do my spree, I will be able to add function into the shelves. But for now, this is what I have. So I'm just going to basically redecorate the shelves. Okay, I completely forgot, but this is actually just a planter. I literally have a roll of toilet paper in there to kind of give it some height. And I had just set this little olive tree planter in here and it looks cute like that, but that's how I've had it for a long time. So as I pulled it down, I'm like, this would actually change up the style over on the vanity. And I think it's really pretty. And I feel like it's more the style that I'm going for as opposed to this eucalyptus. So I'm gonna put this down on the vanity or maybe lower on the shelves. And then this piece will actually just go up here to kind of pull greenery, but be less specific of like the style that I'm going for, if that makes sense. And this was the one that previously was on the vanity. So while I'm decorating up here, I have like a set of 2 and then I'm gonna do 3. And then you just wanna kind of try to like counterbalance things. So I always do like greenery here and then I'll try to kind of go diagonal a little bit just so that I'm not stacking like greenery, greenery, greenery. You just kind of wanna take similar things but stretch them out that kind of carries your eye through the space. Also, anything that is just decorative, I'm putting it up higher, whereas anything that might be functional like a candle or a canister that I could hold, like house different things that we might grab, I want to put that a little bit lower. So here we have our set of 2, set of 3. I'm kind of going back and forth between the different textures and greenery pieces and things like that. Also, I think I'm gonna move this basket from above the toilet because I kind of hate baskets on the toilet, but I do want to have toilet paper easily accessible, but I also don't really want to display toilet paper like it's a decorative item. So I might end up seeing if I can move the toilet paper from down here to in this basket, and maybe it'll be still like obvious enough to guests that don't know where we keep our toilet paper, but also it'll be less distracting and obvious. So once again, now I have a set of 2, which is nice because this one's a little bit longer, so it takes up the full space, but you still have the 2 items. You have greenery kind of going this way, and now on here I'll probably do a set of 3. But because I have a taller item over here, I'm gonna try to put my taller item on this side to again kind of counterbalance that. I think I would love to use this tray here, except it actually overhangs on the shelf, so I probably won't, but if it was a little bit in, I would definitely use that here, and then I would put things on top of it, just because anytime you put something on a tray, it really makes it feel like it's really intentional instead of just things sitting there. Okay, so this is what we have left over. So I did remove a few kind of bulkier pieces, mostly the tray, just wooden piece, and then this little canister. Also, I'm gonna stick these things down below, but we'll have to organize that in a minute. So for now, I'm just gonna set these out here to kind of get more space, and we can start redoing the vanity. I'm not gonna really do much to this, just a few things. So this is that floral piece that I pulled from the shelves. We are actually just going to stick that right over here in the corner. It kind of changes up the feel of the space, but again, you get that soft greenery in here. Now this is something that I added somewhat recently. I do need to wipe it down, but this is just a thrifted tray that I had gotten a little bit ago, and this is a little decanter that I put some mouthwash in. The only thing is I wonder if putting it over in this corner would be better. I think I might like that better. Next up, and I guess the final area of this little refresh, is underneath the vanity. In here, I have a lot of things. I don't even use a lot of this stuff anymore, but it's like any random cleaning supplies gets left on the counter. It's like, oh, put it in here. So I don't really use these because now I clean the toilets typically with a spray and toilet paper, just because I clean them often enough that I don't usually have to like scrub them. So these are probably new. Yep, and it can just be donated to the kids' schools. And then I just have like little random bits here and there. So we're gonna pull everything out, clean it out, and then we'll reorganize. Apparently there was a sale at one point and I bought so much toilet cleaner, so we won't need toilet cleaner for like ever. Okay, so in here, again, I'm not adding in any organization items, so I'm just going to declutter and reorganize with what I have. Although I do have way too many toilet cleaners for whatever reason, I am just gonna leave them in here because they can kind of get tucked back away, but I'm just gonna reorganize them instead of them being everywhere. And I'm sure I have like multiple open ones and multiple half-used ones. Now they'll actually get used in a good order. And some cleaners I will use, but I'm gonna move out because they're not specific to a bathroom or this bathroom. And so I've never looked for them in here. In here, I just have like some personal girly items. So I'm just gonna stick them in this basket and that'll work great. Also, I will say I do like decanting items because you might think, oh, I see a box in there, I don't need to get any more, and really there's only like one or two. But if you have them pulled out and then corralled into something that is a lot easier to see through and see into how much you have, it just kind of helps that process a little bit. So that's what I like to do. Now for this, again, I'm just going to corral stuff because I know if I just stick random things in here, like the hair stuff and the deodorant, all that, it's just gonna get crazy. So instead, I am gonna put everything in a basket. Actually, maybe I'll stick this right here and it will just look and feel more organized, and it'll also stay and maintain that organization a lot nicer. I have some different deodorants and like hair stuff our boys use sometimes. And then actually, now that this is nice and organized, I'm gonna keep the toothbrushes that don't get used all the time down in this cabinet to keep things a little bit more simple. I actually just found these right outside the door. I forgot I randomly stuck these like down below. So it's actually just clutter in here before that wasn't being used. But I might go ahead and use these to kind of corral these types of things just so it has a hard bottom. Okay, I did switch these out and I think I actually like it better just because there's hard bottoms to everything. And then now I can use this tray somewhere else in the house or something. We can use it for something. And then also I have another organizer. So again, I can use that somewhere else in the house or declutter it if I don't want it, but this is amazing. And this was literally just reorganizing the random bits that I had in here before, and it's like 10 times better, probably more than that. All right, we are going to start out next with the spree portion of our little bathroom refresh. I actually took a little break. I went and got my teeth whitened for the first time ever. I don't know if you can see much of a difference or not, but they did say it'll whiten a little bit more over the next few days. Anyway, I was going to actually start by changing out this mirror. This is just the mirror that the previous owners had. We painted it green to match this little built-in, which matches some of the accent pieces that we have in our house. But I actually got an antique mirror that I was planning on putting in here. I got it from Facebook Marketplace. I wasn't planning on getting it, but when I was there to pick up some tables, actually the table that we used in the kitchen makeover of our first room rescue episode, I ended up finding that mirror. And I was really excited to put it in here, and I realized it's actually gonna go up like up behind the lights, and so it won't quite fit in here. So I'm a little bummed about that, but that's okay. The other things that we're going to change up in here is I'm going to reorganize underneath the vanity area, but with some more specific organization items. And then we're also going to be restyling the shelf, but with added function. And then maybe restyle the vanity just a touch, but not too much, I feel. So let's get into it. Okay, so once again with this space, we are going to pull everything down, which I know is ridiculous because I literally just styled this, but stick with me for the sake of this observation so we can see how everything turns out. But I am gonna pull everything down and we'll restyle it. Now, keep in mind, just because we are doing a spree doesn't mean this has to cost a lot. You can still bring things in from outside of your home, you can still thrift, you can do a lot of affordable options. So all of these items up here are actually pieces that were either in here already that I'm kind of restyling again, or that I pulled from somewhere else in my home. So like this vase was something that I already had. Also, since I cannot reach this shelf without standing on something, which is what I'm doing at this moment, I am not going to be putting anything functional up here at all. The top is strictly decorative, which is fine because the other pieces that I'm using are both functional and decorative. So they still kind of play into that decorative space, but they also add function, so it's usable items. So up above, I have that picture that we used earlier, also some greenery, and then a vase. And just like I talked about earlier, since we have a set of 3 up top, we're going to try to do like a set of 2 on the second shelf and then kind of alternate those a little bit. And you'll notice that that's typically kind of what I try to do when I'm styling our big built-in shelves in the living room, is kind of staggering that and just again like kind of playing around, keeping your eye moving around the space. And that will just make it look really nice and pleasing to the eye. Next on the shelf is some towels. These are just some towels I got actually from a website called Flip. I'll link them down below. They're just really pretty waffle knit towels. They're nice and decorative, but they're also really nice to use. So this is going to give us just some towels that can be here waiting for guests to arrive. Also, they don't match all the other towels that we have, so they're kind of like a set of their own. Okay, so with this, you can either style them this way, which is a little bit more simple, or this way, and it adds a little texture. I kind of like this way, but we'll see how it looks when I actually style it. So on this one, we're kind of styling like two groups, if you will. So I'm gonna pay attention to scale. Like the next one might have a few smaller items since we'll style more. So here we have our towels. And then on this side, we will have a set of jars. And these are going to house some functional items, but also items that you don't have to get into like every single day. These ones were from TJ Maxx. So like this one I think was like $5, that was $6. In one, we're going to put some cotton balls. In the other, I have these little sponges. This was a 10 pack on Amazon for $9.99, so like $1 each, but they look really nice. They're just like that natural fibrous material, and I thought these would be like a really nice option for when we have guests come stay with us. Typically, since we don't have people that live, well, that stay with us that live really close, they will stay for like 1 or 2 weeks maybe. They can just take these and use it the whole time they're here. But on one side, you have a little handle, and then on the other side, you have that fiber material, which is just gonna be like kind of a good loofah, but it's something that isn't really substantial. On this next shelf, I got a few new items. So I got this basket right here, $12.99 from TJ Maxx. And then I got some hand towels that everyone can use. I got them from World Market, and I love this print. I've actually gotten these before. I love them because they're very subtle. They have kind of like a cream background, but then they have the raised white detailing. So anytime you can add texture to a space, especially when you're adding function too, it's always a win. So this piece right here is going to house our toilet paper. Again, I want it to be very obvious to guests, and I don't want them to be like, I'm out of toilet paper, where is it at? So that's why I got this basket. Like this was our free version, the one that I already had. It totally works, but I feel like this will be maybe just a little bit nicer and also just do a little to refresh the space a little bit more. A little quick tip with toilet paper, if you just take off the outer layer, you kind of make a V right here, and then you're going to turn on your faucet and just put that right here, and it'll actually stamp it and make it look more decorative or more intentional. So with this, I can close it up, but I think to add height, I might actually have it up. Plus then it's open. Someone can see that there's actually toilet paper in there, but it still looks kind of decorative. We're gonna decorate toilet paper as best we know how. Then we'll just fold the washcloths up, set those nicely, and then I have some jarred canisters that will actually house some functional things. Okay, so these are some marble canisters. Now, if you look closely, they don't match, but they're both marble. And so what I did instead, I just actually painted the lids, like the handles of both of them, the same gold. One was black and one was like a bright brassy gold. So I just put some paper around these and then I spray painted them really quickly, and you don't have to do much. It's just enough to kind of tie them together. So if you have two different pieces, if you can put something in there that kind of ties them together, so like add the same color to them or add similar size or texture, whatever, it will help them look cohesive and nobody will really think anything different of it. So that's what I've done here. Inside these, we're going to add a little function. So in one we'll add band-aids and in one we will add Q-tips. Okay, for the bottom shelf, I'm going to give a makeup mirror. This is actually the one that I had in my bathroom. I might end up getting a gold one to put in here just because we have gold accents and like more of the brown, but this is what I have. So I'm just gonna use this one for now. And then I have a tray of, again, like a few things that I bought. So a little scrub, lotion, just very simple. And then I actually got a reed diffuser, again from World Market. That is something that doesn't have to be plugged in, but it'll keep it smelling nice in here. And then again, I just have a little riser right here. This one I believe is from TJ Maxx, but you can find these all over the place. This, I think I'll leave this on just because it's such simple writing, so I'll probably put this on right here. But then this one, I might go ahead and take off the label to keep it a little bit more simple, just like that. And now it looks just a bit more super high end. And if you're worried about not having some of the information, you can always stick it on the bottom, like cut it out and stick it on the bottom. Okay, we're almost done with this. Actually, we basically are done with the shelves. However, I just don't like how this mirror looks here. It's just like too small. The scale of it is not quite right. So we're just gonna pull that mirror away. Maybe I'll add a small one on the counter later on or underneath. So now I just need to find something to fill this spot. I might actually just use one of the greenery pieces that we took down, like this piece, because that'll add a lot of height and it'll kind of balance out the browns and all of that. I actually wish that this was a lighter color, but this is all I have, so that's fine. And I like it a lot, except that it's like the same tone. So I kind of wish it was something different, but I don't want to paint this. So if I come across something that is a different tone, maybe like stone, I might actually change this out, but for now, that's how it's turning out, and I think this is really pretty. Okie dokie, now that we are done with the shelving, we are going to step back underneath the vanity. I wish that I would have realized this was so stained up down here, and I would have gotten some contact paper from the Dollar Tree or something. I didn't get it. Use your imagination, but I would add that into a spray. Now I did get this, the Home Edit. It's like an open front bin. I like these when you're not stacking them because then you can easily access things. So this was like $6 from Walmart. I feel like you can get some good deals on the Home Edit bins if you get them through Walmart and not necessarily through the Container Store. I actually am really liking this, so I don't even think I'm gonna touch it. And that just goes to show, like, you don't have to do anything crazy. Like, if you already have bins, don't feel like you have to go buy new ones just to do a refresh. You can use what you have, and sometimes it's like the best case scenario. But I am gonna put some of these in here just to kind of keep them a little more organized. The other thing that I got for in here is I did get some face wipes for anyone visiting. So this is just an added function piece. So that was easy, we're done. Now I actually might take these off and paint them real quick, because that'll only take a minute. Now on here, I am just going to change out this towel for that same waffle knit towel that we have folded up there. So this is just the hand towel version. And that will just kind of, again, like bring your eye around the space. You're like repeating colors and textures. Now on here, we are going to change our hand soap out just for one that looks a little bit more simple. It has that green that kind of pulls in. I will probably spray paint this top to match everything, but for now we're gonna say it's okay. And then I did get this really, really pretty marble dish. I believe this was like $6 from Walmart. And by the way, everything I will link down below. The one thing that I don't like about this mouthwash container is you have to have your own glass. So I got a pack of 100 disposable bath cups, and this will last for a very long time. But instead of just setting these somewhere, I'm gonna set a small handful on this dish. And again, like, now it kind of looks like it's not just floating around the counter, it looks like it's actually meant to be there. Here we go. Let's go ahead and start out with the befores and see where we started. Now this space was not awful, but it was very disorganized under the vanity. It lacked a lot of function that I kind of desired in the space overall, and also it was just kind of feeling a bit stale because we have really not done anything to this bathroom for the last 2 years or so. So that is the before, and this is the free version. So in this version, this cost us absolutely nothing, not a single penny, and also Also, for the sake of this video, I did not include anything that was not already in this space, even if it was just in another room in our home. Now, let me tell you, I thought that this was going to be really not a big difference, but overall, we were actually able to utilize things that were already in this bathroom, just not being used or not being used in the best way, to actually reorganize the space. And then also just by simply decluttering and restyling our shelving, even that felt a lot more refreshed and just way more calm and peaceful in this space. And now finally onto the spree. This is definitely my favorite. However, this did cost us about $118, and I also did shop our home for this, so it easily could have been even more if I wasn't able to shop my home for certain items. With that being said, I love how this turned out, and I think specifically I loved the shelving, especially because we were able to add a lot of function and not just have a lot of decorative pieces on there, but a lot of pieces that actually could be utilized every single day, or especially when we had guests over. And then as for the vanity, I really didn't feel like we were able to change that up a whole lot. If we could have made that mirror work, I definitely think that would have made a drastic difference in the kind of the look and feel of the space. But the mirror that we have in there now still works, and I could still obviously repaint that if we wanted. Now, my final verdict on this space is I actually feel like the spree was worth it in this case, but honestly, it's only because we were able to add in those functional items. However, if you were able to shop your home for those functional items and add those in, I really do think that you can achieve this look or this feel to a certain degree just by utilizing the free option. So definitely one thing that I've learned from this is to first always go for the free option and try it out. And then if you see that you do still have some issues and do still kind of have some struggle areas, then you can go to the store and be a lot more intentional with your money and kind of stretch your dollar a little bit further that way. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was so much fun for me to put together. Let me know in the comments if you would like to see another free or spree video. And if so, if there's like a certain area of your home that you're struggling with that you'd like me to kind of delve into that area. Like if you want to see an office, if you want to see a pantry edition, guest room, whatever you have, let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.